Please listen to this carefully, as I know it may be difficult to understand. Both the audio and what I will present to you. Before anyone starts commenting, I know that the sound is not perfect, but I am working on it. Please be patient. Having speech impediments, it is sometimes difficult to talk. There is so much I want to say, and yet at times lack the ability to say it. I want to start by introducing myself. I am the alien autistic, so named for the Asperger's syndrome I live with daily. Many of us deal with Asperger's and autism, and it's not easy. We can at times feel very alienated from society and how it thinks. What follows will be the way I look at things. My viewpoints, perspectives, and how I feel from the bottom of my heart. I will post this in several parts. Soon I will also start doing game and or movie reviews. The latter will deal with the subject of autism. I also run a support group as well as a group for singles, where I live in Pagosa Springs, Colorado. If you have any questions, please let me know. There is a wonderful autistic author and engineer named Temple Grandin, who some of you may know about. She talks about how a lot of autistic people think in pictures, and it's true for some, maybe most. This will be a rather visual presentation. That is to say, I will be asking you to visualize a great deal. I also don't want to step on anyone's beliefs, but this is the way I see and feel things. Visualize the Earth. Get a good image of this planet in your heads with as much detail as you can. Is she not the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen? Well, except for a spot here, and this looks a bit funny, but still. Magnificent. Now expand the picture in your mind. Breathtaking and majestic. I'll get back to her later. Now how about spiders? These strange 8-legged creature. Real beauties. Her. 8 long legs. Penetrating eyes, lots and lots of them. They creep around in the dark, hiding, or blending in with their surroundings. Some are big, some are small, some are covered with coarse hair, while others have crazy long legs. All shapes and sizes like us. Some jump, some are poisonous, and sometimes they are even cute. Now picture a terrific spider web in the jungle. Look how graceful these are. How elegant. Intelligent. Weaving a tapestry of silk and magic for everyone to enjoy. Well, actually it's to catch insects for dinner, but still. One can't help but admire the grace, skill, and sheer beauty of the web, the movement, and the spider itself. Look at the intricacy of the weaving, the intelligence and purpose behind it. She or he is creating what looks like a work of art. Divine art. Cool, huh? Spiders are such a diverse species in the way they look, even though none of them are really considered super attractive. Well, some people really like them, and even keep them as pets. No, spiders are generally not considered the most attractive creations in nature's grace. Except for Spider-Man. He's awesome. Couldn't help it, I'm a Spider-Man fanatic. Spiders are everywhere doing whatever a spider can. They are present in nearly every continent and ecosystem and protect our crops, farmlands, and plants from being overrun with insects. They play a significant role in helping our planet maintain its ecological balance. Without them, insect-borne disease would be a great deal more prevalent. Some of you likely have your skin crawling right now. It's understandable. I personally have arachnophobia, or deep-seated fear of spiders. Most of us have our reasons, but a lot of people are just plain creeped out by the way these creatures look. Let's take a look in our minds at the webs again. Use your imagination. Amazing, right? They can be spectacular. Bonus points for you if you got that Spider-Man reference. To me, spiders are perfect, and gorgeous and graceful. I still have a fear of them. I personally am not always fond of how they look, but I have a great respect for them, and what they bring to the table, and I don't mean the flies, and other insects. I will not see them any other way. Despite how they look, the incredible natural artwork they create means something. They mean something. They are truly a divine creation. They are perfect, just like us. Gather a picture in your mind of the human body. More specifically, the intricate inner workings of the body, our genetics. DNA speaking, of which, this is us. This is what all of us are comprised of. Deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA, the quote, building blocks of human life. I want you to take a moment to admire the complexity, and I would say again, artistry that makes up what we are. 23 pairs of chromosomes. 20,500 genes are present in our genetic makeup. And they are not done mapping the human genome yet. Here I will not go into the tremendous technical detail I found while researching the genetics of our bodies, but I am staggered by the sheer awesomeness of it. The symmetry. How intricate and perfectly detailed the physical being is. How amazingly precise the design. And, yes, I'm going to say it. Intelligent. Now don't start throwing things. I like this shirt, just hear me out. I believe that there is a genuine design for life. Could it be creationism? Could it be evolution and science? Or could it be a combination of the two? 2. What a significant number. Good and evil, art and science, peanut butter and chocolate. Ah, yes, the hemispheres of the brain. There are 2 of them. We have the fun chaotic right. Picture partygoers and artists. The logical left. Picture Mr. Spock, for instance. You know what's most significant about those hemispheres? There's a bridge between them. Is there a connection? Well, yeah, like I just said, there's a bridge between them. But what I'm suggesting is that using both sides of the brain to solve a problem is sometimes the only way to do so. 2 very different ways of looking at the same thing. Now there are lots and lots of people who are born differently abled. Autism, for instance, can often come with varying genetic problems, Down syndrome, cystic fibrosis, cerebral palsy, and just to name a few. There are lots of reasons for this to occur. Environment, the parent's genes, pollution, drugs, etc. Sometimes those differences can be accompanied by mental problems. And there are people who may look at someone who's differently abled and assume that there is a mental problem. But mental may just mean a different way of thinking or viewing the world. A different perspective. In fact, I would venture to guess that most people who are differently abled in some way have a perception of life that most wouldn't be able to see or understand. Say if you were taller or shorter than you actually are. It might be a slightly different visual perspective, or it could change your entire outlook on life. Maybe even the way people treat you. These problems can make life a lot more difficult or challenging. Other times it can be a true advantage, a gift. Where I'm going with this topic is that everyone has something to share, something to give, something special and wonderful about them. There are no flaws, no blemishes, no defects. Nothing too small or too big, no errors. The divine, the way I see it, makes no mistakes, and in the immortal words of Lady Gaga, we were born this way. There are no problems no matter how we look, or how different we are. Every single cell in every part of every body is exactly the way it should be for a reason. Perfect. Even if it's unusual or unusually challenging. Perfect. I, for instance, have a learning problem that may or may not have anything to do with the autism. I hated this weird brain I have for the longest time. I was taught to hate it actually. But it wasn't good enough. But it perceives things differently. Even after I had fully accepted everything else, and was happy, it was always frustrating. I see things differently. Feel things differently. One day my mom introduced me to a couple of friends of hers during a Special Olympics swim meet in 2007. It wasn't until a single moment in 2008 though that the greatest of revelations came to light. This is it. This is the reason for all of it. This is why I am who I am. This is why my brain is the way it is. Intellectually, emotionally, everything became clear in that moment. I was here to help these young people, to join them, to learn and compete, and love them completely, perfectly, unconditionally. Today I could not be more proud being different. Yet I am humble. It seems that was just the beginning of my path. A wise friend once said to me, your entire life could change in a second. It's true. We are, and that alone makes us beautiful. We are, and that means we all have something to give and share. We are exactly as we are supposed to be, and where we're supposed to be right now. We are perfect in that sense. Perfect works of divine art to be respected, honored, and loved. I call this universal, unconditional respect. Mostly because I have to name everything. That's just a thing with me. In truth, it doesn't really need a name, and it can be a very hard concept to grasp. But an important one. Vital. I know I'm preaching to the choir. Except the atheists in the room, but surely even they can appreciate what I'm talking about here. For some it's something to learn, and for all something to teach. Why is it so important? Did you notice in the beginning just how small this planet really is?